Greetings, shopkeep. I'm quite well, thank you. And yourself? I'm glad to hear it. It's a fine day to enjoy browsing what the plaza has to offer. I'm not looking for anything in particular, but thank you for asking. If I should have any questions, I'll make certain to ask. Well, generally I enjoy collecting the unique, well-crafted things of the world. No reason in particular, really. If I see something that piques my interest, I can't help myself and must purchase it. I hold an appreciation for beautiful things. Well, as of recent I've collected a few items of note. I assume that you're asking this so as to help me with my search. Yes, of course. I'd be happy to indulge you. Recently, I've purchased a finely made vase which utilized a single aster engraved through an innovative and spectacular method. Pressing a flower into the still wet surface of the pottery before firing it. That way the embedded flower disappeared, while leaving a perfect replica of it in the vessel itself. Truly magnificent. There was also this set of core lapis which held my attention and eventually found its way into my possession. Finding one specimen of the mineral itself is rare and difficult to find. The expertise required to find and refine two pieces of such a thing as rare as that. It's rare in and of itself. What made these unique were that they were nearly identical. Something which seldom happens. As you can see, I care not for if something is beautiful in and of itself, but if it shows exemplary craftsmanship or refined attention to detail. Indeed. With that in mind, might I ask if you have anything that might pique my interest? A few things, you say. Well, I'd be more than happy to take a gander at what you have in store. You'll be just a moment. That's no trouble. Please take your time. In the meantime, I'll have a gander at some of the other items here. Yes, there's quite a fair bit to go through. I do frequent shops such as these quite often. When I finish conducting my business as a consultant at the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, I often make my way here. Yes, I offer information on the whereabouts of artifacts and treasures in exchange for pay, bed, and board. You have quite a few interesting items here. So many that I'm afraid I don't think I'll have time to peruse through all of them in one sitting. I take my time with each. They all deserve respect and care, no matter how far-fetched they may appear. Some of the most interesting things are those that seem the most mundane. For example, this lamp you have here. Simple in its construction, made of silver with small gold engravings on it. But if you look closer, you can see that it has small runes scrawled into the glass encased in silver. It is difficult to read due to its age, but all things considered, must be a few hundred years old. How do I know? I've been around for quite a long time, far longer than my appearance would suggest. But perhaps that is a conversation for another time. The runes. They're a scripture praying for a bountiful catch on the fishing boats that used to have these hanging from the front of them. Let's say that I know a fair deal of Li culture. I hold it very dear to my heart. Of course, without knowledge of the past, we cannot move forwards. Li culture is being forgotten more and more with each passing day. Memories of our traditions fading to nothing. It poses a problem for the future of all who live here. We must remember the origins of our peoples, for if we do not, then we have no foundation to build upon. All the things that we are based on things that we are forgetting. Without a strong foundation of ideals and history, our ways of life shall wither and crumble away. That is something that mustn't happen. Perhaps you're right. That might be one of the many reasons why I collect artifacts pertaining to Li history. Very perceptive of you. No, I don't take offense. I just find it interesting that you were able to pick something up from me that even I hadn't recognized, and so quickly as well. Yes, I mentioned that I wouldn't have much time to explore the contents of this place. I have an appointment with a friend soon. It's at a restaurant on the other side of the plaza. Quite a walk, I'm afraid. Oh, nothing too important. Just a meeting for tea with a friend of mine. They're a rather rambunctious individual. Chaotic. One could say that they run a toy factory with their younger brother. Courageous, generous young man. The two are very different, but in a way that many might find endearing. Regardless, have you found those items that you wish to show me? No rush, of course. Splendid. Thank you. Well, how intriguing. A small lockbox made of wood. A dark red lacquer applied to its surface not only for form, but for functionality. Even though it is old, its surface is extremely well preserved thanks to the care in making it. It was sealed properly. The small golden latch on the front, the hinges and the insignia of Morax on the top is well made and preserved just as well. I'll take it. Of course, it would be perfect to store some of the smaller items I find. Perhaps pieces of core lapis that I bought a while back. A perfect arrangement to grace the dark crimson satin interior of the box. The deep amber red, bright gold colors, all of that will contrast with it quite well. I do have one other item, I believe. Thank you kindly. Now let's see here. A small pendant, made of a rich, high-quality jade. The green looks beautiful between the golden ringlets binding it to a thin, well-crafted chain. The clasp at the back isn't worn at all. Though I wouldn't wear this in fear of damaging it, it would make a wonderful piece to add to my ever-growing collection. Thank you for this suggestion. Add it to my purchases along with the lantern from earlier, please. Yes, thank you. Say, would you be interested in joining me at one of the restaurants sometime? I believe that you'd be useful in helping me search for more trinkets featuring Li Wei's history. That, and it is a pleasure speaking to someone who holds a fair amount of knowledge in regards to items of importance such as these. Yes, the next time that I finish my work at the parlor, I shall have to pay you a visit here. We can discuss your wares as well as Li Wei's traditions and culture over tea and a fine meal at one of the restaurants. The one I have in mind would be the Wanmin, since it isn't far from here. That, and a both spectacular service, as well as high-quality traditional meals. Yes, it is quite expensive, but more than well worth it. And please, don't worry about the cost. It will be on me. I have more than enough more to purchase whatever it is you should wish. Whether you're partial to meats, fish, vegetables, or anything in between, Wanmin will have something for you. Of course, I insist. Consider it a down payment on your help for searching for items which might stoke the embers of my curiosity. If it comforts you at all, I often find myself looking through shops such as yours alone. To have someone with me is more than enough payment as is. You, of all people, should know that in line with Li Wei tradition, you are required to accept gifts from others as a sign of respect. Then, there we have it. The next time that I visit after today, we shall enjoy a meal together at the Wanmin. But for now, how much will my purchases be costing today? Yes, the lantern box and pendant. A fair sum, but a fair price. Please, send the bill to the Wangsheng funeral parlor. And if there should be any difficulties in regards to the payment, contact me and I shall make amends as quickly as possible. Indeed, the pleasure has been mine. I do hope that we can reconvene and continue discussing these sometime in the next few days. When are you normally available? All right. I'll take a mental note of that and come again to take you out for that meal. Please, do enjoy the rest of your day, friend. It's been an absolute pleasure. rude of me. My name, yes. When on leave, you can call me Zhongli. I look forward to seeing you soon.